What's up? It's Jordan. I right now decided I'm no longer going to be Jordan from Serious Automotive. I'm just going to be Jordan Sear. Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't planning on recording today, but I got a pretty cool gift under the tree for Christmas from my girlfriend or Santa. Who knows? And I recently watched a Peter McKinnon video where he highlighted a stop motion animator kind of explaining how it's done and what the day-to-day looks like and how long it takes to complete a shot. So I kind of got some inspiration and some curiosity flowing through my veins and decided I wanted to give it a go. So I will be unboxing and setting up my DJI iPhone gimbal in a stop motion animation kind of way. So enjoy it. Stop motion animation is a filmmaking technique where you physically manipulate an object in small increments, individually photograph those increments, so when you play it back, that object is showing motion in frame. Now, I've tried that once before. A couple years back, I was building some Lego and decided I wanted to make Professor McGonagall come out of the Great Hall, wave her wand, and build the rest of Hogwarts. As you can see, it was quite choppy, and I really didn't know what I was doing. So that's the experience that I've had with stop motion up until now. This morning, when I decided I wanted to make one for my gimbal, I didn't want to document any of it, and I wanted to just focus on the animation. But when I watched it back, I realized that I had accidentally recorded it in portrait instead of landscape. The lighting was a little bit off, so there was a lot of shadows. I also wanted to make something a bit more dynamic and three-dimensional and less flat lay. If you haven't seen that video now, I'll throw it up right here. So that's what I did this morning. I'm definitely going to keep it. I think I'm going to put some work into it and maybe make it into like a little short commercial for DJI down the road. But I definitely want to reshoot this animation for YouTube. And I decided this time, because I've already had a dry run this morning, that I was going to bring you guys along with me and watch my process. So I'll try to explain it as best as I can. And I just want to get going. Let's do this. This was the spot where I originally did it, and I had kind of the lights around, but for one thing, it hurt my back a little because I was constantly bending over, so I wanted to try something a bit more elevated. So I decided to use the orange of this chair, which I think would pop really nicely against the gimbal, and it allows me to kind of prop things up and have more of a three-dimensional look, having the gimbal maybe come up and build itself or something. All right, so I have the lighting set up right now. I have studio light number 1, studio light number 2, and then I have overhead lighting right here. And I have my camera set up. I decided to go with more of a flat lay again. I kind of wanted the angle to be from here, something like that. But I found it pretty tough to actually animate the gimbal and keep it upright without some sort of string or rod. And then you're getting into Photoshop. And I really wanted to focus on the smoothness of the animation. One of the most important things about the stop motion animation is that the tripod cannot move. And your surroundings can't move, and the lighting has to be the same the whole way through. Right now I have a weight in behind the chair, and I have the tripod legs pressed up against the arms, stuck in the corner of this, and then this bench and this weight is making sure that this camera isn't going to move back and forth. So I'll be able to use it pretty easily, and then I can just sit here, take a photo, and move. All right, so that is painstaking. I'm about half an hour in, and I'm maybe a third of the way through the clip, so I don't think it will take that much longer, but it is time for my phone to come into picture, so you guys are gonna have to see what the final is later with me. So, sorry. I don't even know how many photos I took, so you're gonna find out with me. I've cleaned everything up, put everything away. I'm pretty confident that I got what I needed. 217 photos. It's been a few hours doing this, and I'm about halfway through the editing process, and it's just a nice fluid motion. I'm really happy with the outcome so far. There's one spot where the gimbal, I forgot to move it a couple times, and so it's a very sporadic and choppy movement on that part. So I have an idea. I was looking through the Epidemic Sound library that I use for like sound effects and audio, and I couldn't quite find what I was looking for, so I'm actually going to record my own Foley. Just going to run my finger down the cushion of the arm to the video and kind of match up the different movements and kind of see how that works. So totally just experimenting right here, but I'll keep you posted on if it works. Making my own sound effects for the first animation video that I made. I have my sound equipment that I use for my podcast with my dad, and then I have the gimbal and the box and everything, and I'm just recreating the sound effects that I see in the video. About to call it a night. I just finished filming a second part or an ending to the Instagram reel, and it's actually coming along together quite nicely. I still haven't touched the YouTube one yet. I'll probably save that till tomorrow because I'm tired. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I finally finished take one. Check it out. So now we're going to take the footage from the second video, and I'm going to go through the editing process with you. And now that I've done the first video, I feel like I can do this one a bit more efficiently and tidy things up a little bit. But we'll see. So let's get going. Follow me, baby. I'm actually going to isolate each movement and give it its own speed. So, for example, this is going to be the bag opening. I'm going to splice this. And now I'm going to be able to set this at its own speed. So I'm going to crank this up all the way. And so we have the gimbal starting to come out of the bag. It's going to stop. I'm going to stop it once it starts to open. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Splice that, and now I'm going to set this to a different speed. So that opens up, that kind of crawls out. All right, and then we go to the third one. And I'm basically going to do that the entire way through. So let's go. So I'm going to be recreating the movements for each one. So the first one we have is the bag opening. So I got the bag. Let's see if this is going to work. I think I made this job a little bit difficult for myself. This second animation video, there's a lot of moving pieces. It made it really difficult because at one point I had the phone clamp moving, the wrist strap moving, the gimbal moving, and my phone moving all at the same time. I tried to recreate as many of the sounds as possible just by looking at what the movements were of the gimbal and recreating them. We'll see how it turns out. All right, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my first experience, my first real experience trying stop motion animation. If you guys have watched this far, thank you guys so much for your support. This video, not only of the stop motion animation, but the actual how-to watching me do stop motion animation took a really long time, almost a month worth. I really wanted to challenge myself with the video editing and kind of up my game in that aspect. And then I kind of took on a little bit more than I thought with the stop motion animation, but I learned a lot. It was very challenging, which is what I'm here for. I want to learn as much as I can, and this definitely helped me out with a lot of different skills. If there's anything else that you guys want to see stop motion animation wise, or even other cool techniques that people do in photography, please comment down below. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to see me try. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.